Hello, welcome to episode 154 of Regen Rovers. Today I was hoping to show you the Europa League first knockout round, but unfortunately I haven't played through to that point. I just haven't had the time to get there. We are going to be playing Kilmarnock, which is interesting. They were one of the surprise packages to get through to the knockout round. We should beat them. That will be the next episode then. But today we're going to be playing Newcastle at home in the Premier League. It is the 1st of January 2035. Hopefully there's not too many sore heads in our team. If there is, they've been naughty. There's a few tired legs because we only played 2 days ago. So there have been a few changes. We're on a decent unbeaten run. Last game we lost was against Chelsea back in November. Since you last left me then, of course in the last episode we beat Mouldy Moulder and progressed through to the knockout round of the Europa League. We've actually drawn a couple games, but the rest of the games have been wins. 1-1 draw against Aston Villa. Anthony opened the scoring in the 75th minute. I thought that would be enough, but unfortunately they did equalise. My team just switched off a bit. Great finish from Anthony though. He is our top goal scorer this season with 9 goals in all competitions. We don't have a striker that's running away with it. I think most years by the start of the turn of the new year we've got a player on like 15 goals, but that hasn't happened this season. We've shared the goals around the team though, and Regen got his first 4 goals of the season, all against Alton. Lenz also scored from the penalty spot. I'd gone downstairs, which is why Okora didn't take it, because if I'd been here I'd have switched the penalty taker to Okora, of course, but unfortunately I wasn't around. But Regen came off the bench, scored 4 goals, sent us through to the next round of the Hampshire City Cup. 3-3 draw away from home against Arsenal. Topsy-turvy game. We went 1-0 up, they went 2-1 up, we went 3-2 up, they got it back to 3-3. But overall, a positive point. Tarasenko got the first goal of the game. It started from Adrian Smith, pumping it up the pitch. It was out wide to Lenz, who crossed it in, and Tarasenko with a nice finish. His position in the team's up for debate, really. Possibly Agra should be playing instead of him. I don't know. Tarasenko does take a mean corner, but he doesn't really get that involved in open play. But he did score today, which was good. Navarrete scored the next goal. This made it 2-1 to us. They, of course, then went... No, wait. This made it... Did this make it 2? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh no, this made it 2-2, sorry. And then we went 3-2 up. Getting muddled up. There's been a lot of goals lately. You may have seen the scores. What's going on? I want to see the Tarasenko goal. That's what I want to see. Let's have a look at it. So is it Tarasenko? Tusakovic. I'm really getting muddled up. Lenz has been good lately. He has kept Tusakovic out of the team, but Tusakovic will be playing today because of those tired legs from actually a couple days ago. It was a lovely goal from Tusakovic with his weak right foot. Ran at the Arsenal defence and fired it into the bottom left-hand corner. 4-3 win against Huddersfield. Another crazy game. We took the lead. They got it back to 1-1. We went 2-1 up, 2-2, 3-1, 4-3, something like that. Anyway, you can see the score. It was a wonderful advertisement for Premier League football, as they say, because we both created chances, we both had shots, equal possession. Vandenbroek opened the scoring. Navarrete got our second. Agra actually played in this game, by the way. I must say Isidoro Rodriguez has been good at the back. There's been some really good performances from our players this season. This was an easy finish with his head from Navarrete. Not going to miss those. Clark with a decent cross. Clark's position is up for grabs. Not just because Christian's been good, but his contract's up at the end of the year. I have offered him a new contract because I think he deserves it. Great strike from Safet, by the way. I think Clark does deserve a new contract. He's 30 years old, which is why I'm sort of hesitating. But he has overall been good. Last few games, his average rating is not quite as high. But I'll talk about him in a little bit. After this game, I'll talk about Clark in a bit more detail. This was West Brom. Navarrete picked up a bit of a knock. Safet Kalechi came off the bench and changed the game. We were 1-0 down. Made it 1-1. They then went 2-1 up and we scored 2 late goals to win it. Firstly through Lenz, who got his 8th goal of the season. Joint second top goal scorer, by the way, for us. Let's have a look at this one. Vandenbroek with the assist. It was a 1-2 between Lenz and Vandenbroek in the end. And then in the 90th minute, Safet Kalechi won it. Now, he's been the most disappointing striker this season, but he was really good coming off the bench today, and he is going to start today against Newcastle as a result of those 2 goals, 2 very important goals, which does leave us 5th in the Premier League, basically at the halfway point, or just over the halfway point in the season. 20 games played, 11 wins, 5 draws, 4 defeats, plus 13 goal difference, 3 points ahead of 6th place Aston Villa, who are doing really well. They played 1 more game than us. Man City all the way down in 8th place. Now, who's in charge of them now? Diego Simeone. I mean, that's pretty shocking performance. Liverpool all the way down in 10th place. Now, they had Eddie Howe in charge at one point. They've got rid of him, and I don't blame them, because they won the league like 2 or 3 years in a row. When Eddie Howe came in, he just flopped with Liverpool. Just didn't work out for him. Spurs currently 5 points clear at the top of the table with a game in hand. We have a chance, I guess, to get that 4th place. We still have it. But with the Europa League running, it's going to be tricky. It really is. We know the fixture congestion can get in the way. This is the team I'm going with. Now, Clark isn't playing because he's a little bit tired. Christian's playing. Now, Clark has had a bid. So I've put in a contract offer to him. I think it's the same as what he's on now. So £26,500 for 2 years, which I think is fine. However, there has been a bid for him from Leeds, rising to £6.25 million, I think. Let's just have a quick look. If he plays 50 games, it would be £6.25 million in total. I'm tempted. I've stalled it for the time being because I'm really not sure. Firstly, his contract's up at the end of the year, so I could accept it and then allow him to make the decision for me. If he decides to stay, great. If he decides to leave, it does mean I'll have to try and find another right winger. But I'm pretty pleased with Christian's performances this season. He's actually picked up Young Player of the Month in the Premier League for December, I guess. Van den Broek was 2nd, I think, so not bad at all for those 2. So quite a few changes for this one because of the busy Christmas period. We've got Will Loader and Kuz in the back line. Will Loader is our vice-captain and will captain us today. Christian, Agra and Tusakovic playing in the midfield with Safet Kalechi in for the injured Navarrete. Mark Ball is ready to pounce on the bench or off the bench. The Newcastle team then, their top goal scorer is this chap, Paulo Teixeira, Portuguese international, 5 goals this season. They're mid-table, I think they're 12th. Dutch international on the left, Argentinian chap in the middle. They look alright. I think we can beat this team though. Best player this season is Terry Tomlinson, which is a fantastic name. I love an alliterative name, you know that by now. Let's go for that one. Bit of a boost with the strikers. Anthony and Kalechi linked up nicely in the last game when Safet Kalechi came off the bench, so I see no reason why they can't do it today as well. I've enjoyed Anthony's exploits up front. There was a little bit of a quiet period for him. Got off the mark very quickly and then sort of slowed down a bit, but he's picked it up lately. Corner to Newcastle though, early on in the lashing rain, and that's 1-0. Offside though, fortunately. Only 6 months until we'll be moving back to Winchester. That's exciting, isn't it? Really exciting. Here's Kuz into Bruno Agra to Tusakovic. Back to Kuz. Cuts in. Not the best ball. And where's the midfield? Where's this chap going? What the hell? That might have been Anthony because the throw-ins, I have a striker sort of sitting a bit deeper. But it's very bizarre. Why couldn't he have closed that ball down? Here's Christian. Great ball out wide to Tusakovic. Heads it in. Headed away. Tusakovic again. Kalechi. Can he turn? Tusakovic. Blocked. Kuz. Crosses it to the back post. Christian heads it to Van den Broek off the post. What an effort. Absolutely bulldozed it against the post. That was exciting. Let's get creative. Come on, lads. I know we've been pretty creative with that display, but let's be even more creative. Get your pens and pencils out and create a masterpiece, lads. Get the crayons out. Scribble. Oh. Let's go attacking. Did push the wingers up in the last match and it worked a treat, so I might do that at half time if we're still 0-0, which it looks like it is going to be. Let's go for that. Oh, that's not really worked. Let's go for that. That's not worked either. They're listening attentive. I can't talk. Listening attentively. Is that the word? Attentive? That doesn't sound right. attentively. Is it attentively or attentively? Oh, blimey. Tripping over my T's. Let's go. Thanks to everyone that's tuning in for all these episodes. I know maybe they're not the most exciting point of the season, and a lot of people tend to sort of come and go, flit and float, and watch the end of the season when it's exciting. But those of you watching every episode, you're the hardcore bunch, that the Regen Rovers ultras that want to experience every single match that I show you. It's all the goals as well from previous matches. Don't show the Hampshire Senior Cup goals, sorry. There's a lot of them. Oh, that was a decent effort from the Newcastle player. They've been the better team on paper. Christian's had a poor game, hasn't he? Might stick Anthony out wide. Mark Ball up front alongside Saffet. Yeah, let's try something different. It's just not happening for us. We had a couple good spells in the first half, but overall... Oh, this is a goal. Surely no, Adrian Smith catches it. That was a chance for Newcastle, wasn't it? It looked like a chance. It's not gone down as a chance. Headers don't really count as clear-cut chances for some reason. I've noticed that. Saffet does extraordinarily well there. Here's Anthony into Saffet. Kalechi tackled. Len Shawley. What a save. What a save by the Newcastle goalkeeper. How on earth did he save that? That really wasn't Lens's fault. He put it into the... 99 out of 100 times that would have gone in. How has the goalkeeper saved that? That is ridiculous. I've got to try and think of what to do now. Anthony's going to go attacking. We'll get Lens to attack as well, I suppose. Agra plays an advance. We're getting everyone to move forward a bit. Go a bit more direct. Let's just smash it up the pitch. Corner. Lens to take it. Whips it in. Loader off the post. How have we not scored here? I mean, this is one of the most exciting 0-0s. There's not been tons of highlights, but the highlights have been pretty exciting and intense. But it looks like we're going to finish with a 0-0 draw somehow. Both goalkeepers with really good ratings, the defenders with good ratings, and yes, it's an exciting 0-0 for you today. Sorry about the lack of goals, but you can, unless Mark Ball here can do something. Saffet into Lens! Oh, it's another save by the keeper. And that's the final whistle. Unlucky. I mean, perhaps a draw is deserved. Both sides went for it. We just couldn't quite break them down. Well, we did break them down, but the goalkeeper pulled off an incredible world-class save. Will Loader, man of the match, comes in for Isidoro Rodriguez and picks up the man of the match award, so not bad. I'm going to calmly say you unlucky, because I think they were. Striker-wise, unlucky. Everyone's unlucky. Fifth in the table then after 21 games. Leicester, if they win, they'll be 3 points behind us. We just seem to be keeping sort of 3 or 4 points above 6th and 7th place at the moment. We have drawn a few games recently and won a few. Tranmere Rovers next in the FA Cup, by the way. That should be a fairly easy one. Shall I show it? Let's show it. Why not? I've not... I'll send my assistant to that. Let's go. I kind of need to make a decision about this. Luke Clark. I think I'll accept it. I've offered him the contract, so we'll see what he does. If he wants to go, he will go. There's a 2-year contract on the table. Does he want to stay with a Premier League team or move to Leeds? I think his time at Regen Rovers, possibly, like his prime years, are coming to an end. So perhaps it does make sense to cash in on him a bit. But he's still a quality right winger. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists this year. Good average rating. If we compare him to Christian has played well. An okay average rating in the league. Not as good, but he's not played as many games. In the Europa League, League Cup, excellent. Hampshire Senior Cup, can ignore that because that's easy. But I'd be happy to play Christian for the rest of the season if we can't find a better right winger available in January. We'll see. So I'm going to accept it and we'll just leave it up to Luke. He can do what he wants to do. We're giving him the freedom to make a decision. So a few changes for this one as we take on Tranmere Rovers in the FA Cup third round. Okoro is going to play in goal. Ray Henriquez, Mark Gale, Will Loader keeps his place for this one. Matt Smith returns from his match out. Luke Clark is playing because it could be his last game for the club. He might move, who knows. Aloisi and Agra in central midfield, they seem to have a good understanding, the 2 second-string central midfielders. Tsakovic keeps his place on the left-hand side, and Duranja is playing today. He's not played many games at all, and it's maybe a player should cash in on in the January transfer window if anyone wants him. I'd probably only be able to sell him for like maximum of 10 million, I would say. Maybe not even that, maybe 5, I don't know. He scored 4 goals in the Hampshire Senior Cup, of course, but that's easy. So we'll see how he does in the FA Cup. And Mark Ball, the captain, alongside him, looking for his 5th goal of the season. It's been a much quieter year for him, but that's because we've obviously played Anthony, we've played Navarrete, Safet Kalechi's played as well. And he's kind of the 3rd/4th choice striker alongside Safet Kalechi. Tranmere team, top goal scorer. This chap, I don't even know which division they're in. They're in League 2 these days, so we should be beating them pretty comfortably, even though I've put out a slightly weaker team. Let's go for this one. That's not inspired them. Do it for the fans. Should inspire players. If it doesn't inspire you, then you shouldn't be playing for us. Not even Mark Ball was inspired, and that's disappointing. I've just realised I had it on the away tactic against Newcastle. Maybe that's why. I don't know. How long have I had it on that for? I've been playing the home tactic pretty much all season, and then I put it to the away tactic for one game, and I must have forgotten to change it back. It might be ages ago. I don't know. Anyway, we've got it on home tactic today, and I need to try and remember to put it on the home tactic probably for the next match. Here's Agra. Oh, great strike. Left foot. Boom. He scored 3 goals for the club already. I've been impressed with him, and he might take away Tarasenko's place from him in the Premier League starting lineup. Obviously played in the last match. This is a lovely strike. Headed away. Boom. Took a slight deflection, I think. Another opportunity here. Regen Rovers, free kick. Straight into the arms of the keeper. Battered long. Easy for Tasakovic. He's going for a little dribble. Into Luke Clark. Maybe his last game in a Regen Rovers shirt. To Aloisi. Delightful ball to Matt Smith. He runs onto it. Crosses it into Ranger. There we go. I know he scored against very weak opposition in Alton. And it's still very weak opposition in Tranmere Rovers. So I can't really judge him on these games. I'll have to give him a go in the Premier League. But I can't consistently give him a go. That's the problem. Navarrete's obviously going to start ahead of him. Which is why maybe I should sell him. I don't know. I think I probably should, because realistically he's never going to be first choice. He's 5th choice striker. He does have one more than Mark Ball now though, but once again I will hasten to add that he did score 4 in the Hampshire Senior Cup. Here's Gale. 2-0 up, 5 minutes in. This could be an absolute thrashing. You want to see goals? Here's goals for you, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see some more. Could have put out youngsters in this game really, but I want to make sure. I'd like to win the FA Cup again. That would be nice. Here's the Ranger to Aloisi. Where's he going? Oh, decent effort. Too close to the keeper though. It's all gone quiet. They've only had 1 shot. We've dominated. I think we're feeling a little bit sorry for them. We've not actually created any clear or half chances, strangely enough. Oh, Deranger's through though, and he gets another. Smashes it in. Ray Henrique's just a long lump. There's the first half chance. It was a clear-cut chance really, wasn't it? Let's have a look at this again. He just swiveled and banged it. Hit and hope really. And the defenders just missed the ball, and the Rangers slams it past the keeper. Gonna bring I thought I had 10 Lens on the bench, but I don't, so I can't bring Tasakovic off after that. Oh, I suppose we could bring Kalechi on, play him as an inside forward. Let's try that. Let's try something a bit different, eh? Or play Mark Ball as an inside forward. That might make more sense, actually. Oh, are we going to have another goal here? Here's Clark. Into Gale. Nice ball to Deranger. Wins a corner. Matt Smith to cross it in. Oh, load offside. Offside? Wasn't it crossed? Like, was Loader in front of the ball there? Oh, I suppose he was. Oh, he's offside because the goalkeeper's ahead of him. That's unusual, isn't it? In a quiet second half, Navarrete's going to come on. I mean, Derange has a chance of a hat-trick. I know it always feels a bit bad taking someone off who's on a hat-trick, but I'm going to do it anyway, and the end is coming on. Easy, comfortable. Bit disappointed we didn't push on in the second half. understandable. Maybe we felt a bit sorry for Tranmere, didn't want to embarrass them too much. Or they played fairly well defensively. We didn't create any chances, apart from that one half chance, which was a bit fortunate, really. But we get the 3-0 win and we march on to the 4th round of the FA Cup. And hopefully we can go all the way. That would be nice. It's time for Ask the Manager then, and the first question today is from Condemned Xbox, who asked, what is your favourite flavour of crisps? Oh, I could talk about crisps for days. I do like prawn cocktail, I agree with you there, but it's not my favourite flavour, but I do enjoy a good prawn cocktail. I love so many crisps and snacks and that sort of thing. I try not to eat too many, but maybe it's a problem at times. I think overall my favourite, there's loads, but I actually happen to have some right now. These. If you want to sponsor me, Kettle Chips, Kettle Sour Cream and Sweet Onion, they are wonderful. Honestly, so good. You can't buy them everywhere, but they are so good. I love them. I've also got into those barbecue bugles, you know, the Walker's bugle things. I've got into them lately. They're really nice. Next question from Edward van den Brink. What do you think of Ajax? I feel like I've answered this question. I like Ajax. I like their philosophy, promoting youth from within the Netherlands and other countries as well. A really good youth team, and obviously unlucky not to reach the Champions League final last year. You gotta like Ajax, unless you're a rival fan, I suppose. Hey Chan, I recognise you. How many questions have you asked now? Don't know, but I don't mind. Keep them coming. Serie A or Ligue 1? Interesting. I've never been massively into Serie A. I quite like Napoli. It's a bit boring that Juventus win it all the time, but then with Ligue 1, PSG win it all the time. Before PSG's dominance, it was quite an interesting league because there was a few teams that would win it. Lille won it. Did Marseille used to win it? Montpellier won it, didn't they? Lyon, of course, did win it a few years in a row, to be fair. They had a really good dominant period. But since PSG have come along, it's a bit boring that they always win it. Apart from, did Monaco win it one year? I can't really remember. But I quite like it. I quite like Ligue 1. I don't know, there's something about it. I don't really watch either, but there's something about Ligue 1 that I quite like. Universe has asked, have you been offered any job interviews during your long-term save at Regen Rovers? Yes, I've answered that quite a few times, I think, and I've shown a few, but I know you answered this question a while ago. But over the summer, for those of you that didn't watch the pre-season video, I was offered the England job again for the second time. I've also been offered various international jobs as well, other international jobs, I think France, Spain, Italy, maybe. Can't really remember. I've been offered multiple Premier League clubs. I think the biggest was actually Liverpool when Eddie Howe was sacked, thinking about it. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I feel like Liverpool. But of course I've ignored them all. I've rejected them all, so I've not really paid a huge amount of attention to them. Anyway, thank you for asking those questions. I don't have a huge amount to go now, so if you do want to ask some more, then go ahead. I have missed a few because I've been repetitive. I've answered them before. One of them was Rangers or Celtic. I can't answer that. Firstly, I don't really have an opinion, but secondly, they just start a fight amongst people that support Celtic and Rangers, and you alienate yourself. I've noticed people that do Rangers or Celtic Football Manager saves. You get a load of dislikes from the opposition fans, of course. It's difficult. It's really tricky. It's the same with any team, though. You know, everyone asks for me to manage their club that they support. I can't manage everyone. It's just impossible. And then when I choose a team, people are disappointed. That's the good thing about Regen Rovers. It's new. It's fresh. No one hates the club because they don't have an affinity or a hatred towards it because it's not a real club. But I think next year, FM20, I'm going to have to manage a real team at some point. I just need to choose carefully and choose a team that I want to manage as well. So we'll see. I sort of wandered off there on my own topic, but thanks for watching. We will end it there. I'll just quickly remind you of the next few matches. But yeah, I will see you in the next episode when we're taking on Kilmarnock in the Europa League. There will be 3 matches in that episode. I said there'd be longer episodes as we get towards the end of the season. This one's probably be a bit longer as well because of taking on Tranmere. But I keep saying we'll end it there. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.